All right,
All
I'm
right.
recording. We're live.
All right. All right. So what's up, everyone? My name
Hello,
is
hello.
Ethan. It's great to see you guys.
Wait, because I thought you were saying it to us. Sorry, sorry. Live again.
What's up, everyone? My name is Ethan, and I'm the co-host of the Cowboys Collective, a father-son podcast built on two generations where we'll be interviewing the most focused and disciplined college students to large business owners and executives with years of experience. As a college student myself, I realized the importance of, finding your niche and standing out in such a large community. Despite everyone trying to land that next internship or create their own version of success, I built this podcast to own in my skills, build connections, and continue and develop my interest in real estate and entrepreneurship so I can help lead our generation and pay tribute to my city of San Francisco. So, the essential goal of this podcast is to figure out, learn from, and give opportunity to a multitude of professionals to share their story of success. And today I have two college students. My first college student is Michael Dabrowski and Ananya Sarak, who have interests in law and sports management. And these two are extremely hardworking, they're determined, and they remain consistent. I've known them since high school, and they have a lot to say, and they're backed by their own personal experiences and knowledge. And it has been a pleasure being friends with them since high school, and I'm excited to see what they accomplish. So, welcome, gentlemen, to the Cowboys Collective.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you,
us.
thank you. Thank you for having us.
Perfect. Yeah, so I gave you guys a little bit of an introduction, so feel free to, jump in and just, give yourself an introduction.
Yeah. Mike wants to go first.
So yeah, my name is Michael Dabrowski. I go to the University of Florida in Gainesville, Florida, and I'm studying both sports management and business right now, and sort of testing the waters, but I'd want to definitely focus more on the sports management route.
Awesome.
My name is Annania Sirak. I'm
Mhm.
currently a student at CCSF with plans to transfer to UCLA. I actually have a couple stickers right here if you want to see. UCLA, you see
Yep.
UCLA right here.
Represent.
What's it called? Yeah, so through the honors program there, at TC, and I want to pursue a career in law, public policy, or what's it called? Political economy. At Berkeley, that was a good major that I'd like to transfer into. And then yeah, it's things like that. Trying to make, money basically.
Per- Perfect. Yeah, that's all great. Yeah, I just want to jump back to Mike really quick. Just ask a couple questions, to further for the introduction. So my first question's for Mike. You've always been centered around, sports growing up. We've talked about, had a lot of discussions centered around sports, So how will, studying sports management validate your passion and what do you hope to use with it further beyond college?
Well, one thing that I really hope to learn from sports management is I like the aspect that it's sort of like there are a lot of jobs, especially in sports, and you think of like ESPN and like behind the scenes, like you're by yourself, you're in analytics, not an analyst on TV, but analytics, you're, counting the stats, counting the viewership, counting how much money you've made. Like you're sitting behind the scenes, you're with no one, and like a lot of these jobs are like that, where it's behind the scenes work, and I think sports management is a really good sort of area and niche where it's like you're actually working with the people and it's passion on both sides. It's not just, numbers, but it's they obviously want to get the highest contract and, because they want to succeed and make money doing what they love. And you obviously want to help them do it. You're representing them. If I do take choose to be a sports agent. That is a route that I would really like because you're representing someone who is just as passionate about their job as you, as you're trying to, help out these players and they're trying to help themselves out, help you out, but help their team out and, find their space in the game. Another area that I really like is sports is I would want to be a sports analyst. I've thought about
Yeah.
even minoring in communications and being able to, look into that. because again, it's something that you're not behind the you're not behind the walls. Like
Mhm.
you're out there, everyone sees you. And besides the big names like Stephen A. Smith and Scott Van Pelt, there are a lot who are just secondary and who are there also. And that's what I would want to be, at some point. And then obviously I'd really want to be hosting something, but that's another really one of those areas that I really enjoy.
Mhm.
Perfect. Yeah, that all sounds really great. And shifting gears a little bit to Ananya, who
Mhm.
said he wants to study law. And what I've noticed from you is that you've always been a proven leader due to your openness and like willing to talk to anyone. Like when we hang out, you'll go up to a random stranger, ask them questions, get to know them a little bit.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
you've had the proven leadership, with being the president at our high school. So what is that? Like, how did you get that level of charisma, and how are you going to take that charisma and use it when you practice law? And what do you hope to gain from that?
Yeah. I think it's more like curiosity. For me, I
Hmm.
feel like the reason why you may think I'm like, an open person, whatever, is because I feel like I'm a pretty curious and, genuine person to talk to. So, how I'd, like to use that later on in the future would be, I mean, shit,
Like a building block.
yeah. Yeah, basically, law school. I mean, I'd like to go to law school in the future because I mean, I feel like you can do a lot of things with a law degree. And I feel like that'd be something that would be pretty good for me because I feel like even when we're together and hanging out or whatever, I feel like, we may talk about politics sometimes and I feel like those discussions are like really, really kind of crucial for us to talk about because um, you know, it it kind of fosters this like it makes us better arguers like of certain things.
Yeah,
We can argue better, we have better, you know, thinking. We can talk to each other much more clearer. And I feel like those various conversations that we've had about, conspiracies and whatnot, politics, whatever, have, helped me, you know, see that I'd like to pursue a career, a higher um level in uh, law or whatever, like be a lawyer or something like that, something that I can, something with a basis of argument. Because I feel like
yeah,
I've become a pretty good arguer and orator
yeah,
through the years. So, yeah, like I said before, I feel like I'd use that same curiosity to like spark open new conversations, to allow for myself and hopefully the other person to gain something from it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. That's all. That's really good. And especially in San Francisco, public policy is like one of the most important things. San
Right,
Francisco
right.
is a very diverse community. We've
Yeah.
had that experience living in San Francisco, so we've literally seen it change throughout the years just as growing up. What do you see, what do you hope to see in San Francisco going forward, just from an initial public policy perspective, as you go to law school, and study more, in college and advance your career, you'll get more knowledge and understanding of how, economic trends and how things shift and change the community. So
Right.
what's your initial, perspective right now?
Yeah, I feel like now the new kind of regime change, not really regime change because it's, a city, but the mayoral change has been a very, very, very good shift in recent years. I think Lurie has been doing a lot for the city's benefits. You see him on Instagram. He's everywhere. He's here. He's there. I'm here today at something bakery. I'm here at here. No, no, no. He's a very cool, kind of hip dude. Very relatable, and I feel like that's kind of what San Francisco needs. not not to be too political, but I feel like, previous mayor had a lot of words to say and didn't really, back them up. But I feel like now, we're seeing that actively through Mayor Lurie,
Yeah, that's a fair
Yeah,
take.
yeah.
Yeah, and Mike, do you have any, insights? I mean, I know you're a San Francisco native. What has changed, positively for you, and what do you hope to see?
I mean, yeah, adding on to Annania, I mean, I definitely do like Lurie's approach. I mean, it's sort of, you see it just like in general, with like Mandani now in NYC, like they try and be like, oh, I'm here today, I'm with the locals.
Yeah.
I saw Mandani like he's like shoveling at the construction site. I don't know what he's doing, but he shoveled one thing of dirt. So
Yeah.
like I see like they're trying to
They're
like
trying to
be
make themselves,
they're
more
trying to make
relatable
themselves more relatable,
to the,
which I don't
yeah.
think Breed did at all. Like she was sort of like you saw her commercials, you saw her this, but she's like she wasn't trying to relate to people.
Right.
And I
Exactly.
think like that's why like Larry's doing really well. Like people like to see that and how he's just able to speak with people and have common interests with especially like the young people in the city.
Hmm.
Like like I don't know, like at Outside Lands he was, or
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
a DJ concert he was
Right. Right. Yeah.
multiple times.
Yeah.
But like I do think one I really hope he could bring back tourism in SF.
And I feel like, I mean,
Living by
go ahead, go ahead. Sorry. I cut you off.
No, I was just saying like I mean, yeah, it's definitely like Union Square, like yeah, it's way better than
Hmm.
before.
Hmm.
And like I will say that, but like I mean even just like I left here to Gainesville from SF yesterday last night and like there were probably like 10 people in the airport at like 7 o'clock on a Friday. Like I know it's already we're past winter break, like no one's really leaving, but like I can't imagine like Atlanta or like JFK, like Kennedy Airport, like these types of airports, like having literally like 5 people in a
Yeah.
terminal.
Yeah,
Like that's like what I want them to bring back. I think that
Yeah.
could really help us.
Hmm.
Go on, Amanda.
I mean, I feel like I mean, I feel like the city's like spark is, slowly coming
Mhm.
back. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, we've dealt
yeah,
like in recent years, we've dealt with a lot of homelessness. COVID kind of, caused a bit of that in the 2020s. But I mean, he's been, jobs have been kind of opening, the job market in SF hasn't been as bad compared to before. I just feel like, SF is we can only go up from here, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Um, yeah, and
Mhm.
it's really, really refreshing to see. Yeah,
yeah. That's great. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and to shift gears, I want to talk about now about your education. Um,
Hmm.
this question is actually specifically for Ananya.
Hmm. What was your question, Speedy?
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, so this question specifically for Ananya,
Yeah.
currently right now you're at CCSF with intentions to transfer to UCLA.
Hmm.
You've applied, you went through the application for college your senior year. Talk to me about how you used that experience to, wanting to transfer over to UCLA and how that process has been so far.
Yeah. Um, I feel like the experience that I gained from, like applying to colleges, will definitely help me applying, now through transfer, through the transfer window
Yeah.
because, colleges kind of look for an abstract mind, I feel like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
someone who can show themselves, but not in like, someone who can present themselves through a different window. I feel like not just, oh, here I got these grades, I got, these extracurriculars, but like, how do these extracurriculars and grades mold your story? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel
It's really
like
good.
I kind of conceptualized that through my college applications, and even though I didn't really get the results that I wanted in the first place, I feel like at least having that idea of, you know, like how I know like how colleges want me to present myself to
Yeah.
them is going to be, you know, very, very detrimental in my transfer application. So I feel like, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much ready. I'm ready to go
Yeah.
right now, honestly. I'm not gonna lie, but I still got 3 more semesters. But um, yeah, man, it's um, we only got 3 more semesters. Can't really I
Yeah.
don't know what else to say, but yeah, 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 man.
Yeah, and
One.
yeah, yeah, that's a really good point. And I want to, switch gears to Mike. You go to Florida. I mean, the undergraduate population is obviously huge, and the point of my podcast is to give voices to, college kids. Like the typical college kid, but with passionate and bold ideas and things that they want to pursue further. I feel like in now people don't really have that voice. We only look at celebrities.
Hmm.
But for you, Mike, how has that been, adjusting to college in Gainesville, Florida, and just such a big undergraduate population?
Yeah, I like it. There's sort of something for everyone, but like I think especially like, from I mean, it's definitely good. For me at least it suffices in terms of like, like being in sports management, like wanting to have like a sports school. I would say this is a pretty good sports school.
Yeah,
Football is decent, basketball, we won the March Madness
yeah,
championship at baseball. Like there's stuff to do in terms of sports, but not just sports. Like, I feel like I enjoy like having everyone from different backgrounds. I think it's cool to go to like a big university because like it's not only people from like, very small population, like especially some of these like California schools, like not UCLA obviously or Berkeley, but some of these like UC Riverside or UC Merced, like no shade in terms of what the school is, but like you might not find someone going there outside of a 10-mile radius.
yeah,
Like you're not gonna really find a lot of people. So I think going to a big school is something very beneficial in terms of I get to see everyone's like dynamic and make friends from, I see people I know like there are a lot of people from Pennsylvania here, Georgia I found, and Florida obviously. So I think
yeah,
that's really been cool. See the different people.
yeah. Response, Mike. I just want to, shift gears and, talk about rot. I feel like that's
Great.
like it's like it's saying rot is become rot, but like
Yeah, yeah, I
Kinda,
know what you
yeah.
mean. Like
right, like
I've
you know
definitely
that.
thought
Like
about
brain
this.
rot, man.
Like, how is brain rot affected? Like how does like on a genuine level, like the term brain rot, I feel like comes from like it's like metaphorically rotting your brain away, like doom
Yeah.
scrolling, short form content, short form media. So like,
Hmm.
yeah, how is that like? I don't know. To me, at least, it's like I feel like it's definitely hurt a lot.
Yeah.
But I think it's just like I'm very confused on how it's sort of brought up. What are your guys' thoughts?
I mean, yeah, I feel like it's like pretty scientific. I mean, I feel like, as like the internet, gets bigger and things like that, and people have more access to certain things, like they just want that like dopamine hit, and it's like literally scientifically based. I mean, I'm taking psychology next year, so I'm gonna learn more about it, or this semester, so I'm gonna learn more about it. But I feel like people just want that instant, gratification, and I feel like people that have patience are the ones that can like succeed because like literally 99% of people like have that want that like instant gratification like all the time, all this brain rot, all this
A
doom
lot of people
scrolling.
quit.
Yeah, and everyone just quits after. So I mean,
Hmm.
probably people can't even listen to this podcast for the whole entire time without
Probably, yeah.
turning it out for games.
Well, yeah,
Exactly.
turning on a real.
So I don't know, that's just my take on it.
Probably like
Obviously, yeah.
someone like Nizzle. I don't know. Like
It's-
he's probably like, I mean, we probably sent him the link, and he's probably just like, you know, doom scrolling. No offense, no like, no shot to him, but
but
just an example.
Who's Nizzle though?
Yeah.
Like, who's that?
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. You see, I got
See?
that was
Yeah.
brain rot in itself. See, that was brain rot in itself. No, no. If you're watching this, I know you watched at least one reel to this point, at least, at the very least.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's no shot to him. That's just,
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely
how
think
it goes.
Reels is like I
Yeah.
feel like Reels are where I personally don't have TikTok.
Oh,
So I can't really speak on
But you
TikTok, but
but you still have Instagram Reels, right?
yes, I have Instagram as a
Yeah, so
whole, which includes
I don't
Instagram
think no
Reels.
TikTok is saving you.
So
Okay, that's fair. That's
I have
fair. That's fair.
Instagram. I actually got Instagram not for Reels. I got Instagram for a different purpose, but it so happened to
For
have
what?
what
Reels.
purpose?
For what?
So my purpose
For what
originally was to
purpose?
keep up with sports like 5 years ago.
Ah,
That's
okay.
fair. That's fair. Yeah.
Follow
Mm-hmm.
ESPN, follow
Mm-hmm.
Warriors, Dodgers,
Kylie
the
Jenner.
49ers, everyone.
Yeah.
I follow
Uh-huh.
everyone.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Uh, and uh, yeah, so that's sort of was my point, and now it's just like reels.
Now,
Yeah.
reels, reels, reels. I can show you the amount of reels that I get sent daily. Like,
Show the
if you
amount that
just,
you
I
send
wish.
though.
Yeah, okay, that is fair because I'm actually trapped. If you see like my real, like I can't even, I don't even check them
Yo, Donnie,
anymore.
can you show the last two you sent to me?
No.
No, I don't think that's needed, but I mean, you get my point, right? Like,
Yeah.
this is ridiculous. This should never be on anyone's phone.
Yeah.
Sorry if I doxed or if I showed, anyone I didn't want to be shown. However, I can show you the same thing on TikTok, like sadly, I also have TikTok. I mean, I will show you, like, I mean, it's not that many
Kylie
people, but
Jenner.
same thing, Kylie Jenner, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if matter of fact, I'll show you one group chat, hopefully, right? If you just see this, like that is just one person being sending that, and guess who that is? That is me. So the algorithm of TikTok, right? It's this algorithm that kind of attracts us, it knows what we likes and it only shows us what we like so that we're
Yeah.
entranced by it. We're in a trance and we're held by it, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we can spend those hours. They TikTok has this thing called it's a screen time like allowance thing, right? Where
Mhm.
it's like, oh, once you pass this screen time, like they know no one's actually following it because I mean, quite frankly, I
Yeah,
don't follow it either. You know what I mean? It's
Apple has that
you
too. It's
you
all
you
BS.
you set an hour or something like that, and then you
Yeah.
have to you have to put in a password and then you continue. Like, you know what I mean? No one's really everyone's putting in 1, 2, 3, 4 and continuing with their day
Yeah.
scrolling and scrolling. There's no incentive for them to actually want you to stop scrolling. You know what I mean? All
Yeah.
they want you to
Yeah.
do is to continue scrolling. And it's the slop. It's
This.
it's it's essentially just
Yeah.
slop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, but what do you guys like? Do you guys try to fight it or I mean, especially now, in college, we have so much free
Right.
time. It's not like our high school
Mm-hmm.
schedule where it's,
Yeah.
repetitive where you gotta go, you're in class all day and then you have sports
Mm-hmm.
after or gym
I
after.
mean,
Mm-hmm.
Now you have
Mm-hmm.
all this free time, nobody's like your parents
Right.
aren't there. So like how do you guys
Mm-hmm.
balance that and stay motivated too and hungry?
well, I definitely just like I try to minimize my Instagram usage because like if it's just the reels, like I could see mine, but I don't think it's like that much, maybe like an hour or two a day, but it's definitely oh, never mind. Can't. Okay, I'll find it later, but yeah. Um, it's about an hour or two, but I definitely like tried to stop just because I feel like it's genuinely sad because Reels at the beginning was not even this bad. Like Reels used to be like, I remember I'd see like a dog getting saved like 5 years ago or like, like something like somewhat educational. Now
Mm.
I feel like it's just like it's gotten way worse. Like I literally hear this song like it's just all he says is 500 cigarettes and it's like,
Yeah, that is crazy,
do you
man.
see
500
that?
cigarettes.
What does that
Yeah.
mean?
Hey, how do you know that, man? How do you know that? I don't know. I
Is
don't
it?
know, man, but yeah, and it's a crazy thing, man. Like, really, I'm
It's
telling you, they will grab you by the neck with anything, man. Any
yeah.
sort of attention grabber, they're there. They know it. I wonder
Yeah.
who's behind it. I don't know who's behind it, but I mean, it's
I have no
it's a
clue.
crazy thing, man. I've no clue, dude. No clue, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I also, beyond social media now, obviously with the whole like AI thing and like ChatGPT, I just wanted to
hmm
hear what you guys, think about that. And have you been using, ChatGPT as a resource, or do you think it has made you more, lazy and just relying on it? So just what do you think about that?
I think AI today has changed a lot. And I mean, we can go into the politics of this at any given moment, but I don't know if the host would like to, but I'll abide by the host's wants. But
I mean, it's
AI
yeah,
will change the world, I feel like. It's a very, very helpful and dangerous tool today. Helpful in the means, you can use it as a learning tool. You can use it, to, in your daily life. You need something, it just gathers information across, the web. You don't have to find it yourself. I feel like that too is dangerous in itself because, it's making us more lazy, but helpful because, we're at least we're, we're gathering knowledge from it, but dangerous because, nowadays AI is being used in the military. Nowadays, uh, in war, you know, people are using certain AI like, Palantir, to kind of train it. I mean, I feel like they've used it on the land of, Palestine, Gaza, whatever, to train its AI to detect what is a threat. That's essentially what's happening.
yeah,
To train the AI, on detecting on whether or not, something is a threat at the given moment. And obviously it's AI, it's not a human, so it doesn't know. It's in a training phase, you know what I mean? So it has, detected certain things. I heard once it detected, a grandma walking back from, I think, a market, it was, being a threat. And I don't remember if it injured her or killed her, but it did something to her, after it detected, she was a threat. And I feel like doing that, is kind of questionable.
yeah,
And then in the end, I don't know where it's going to go. I mean, I heard it's currently being used also here in America to kind of, keep us safe, I guess, detect threats, to whatever they think. And I just think AI is currently in a very, very questionable phase today, in today's world. And yeah, I mean,
yeah,
first
yeah,
time I heard about it, it was ChatGPT. I was using it in my English class, to, to uh, help me and whatever. I would never have expected it to be this grand, on this big of a scale.
yeah,
It's really, really, really crazy to see. But
yeah,
hey, that's the world for you.
yeah. And also
Yeah.
to add on to your point, like it's inevitably just going to get more increasingly bigger because we're right now we're still at narrow AI, but
Yeah.
they've developed or they people have come up with this idea of artificial general intelligence, which is basically where
Yeah.
it's a pretty ambiguous, but like
Exactly.
basically AI would eventually hit like cross the uncanny valley where it can
hmm
perform more than just tasks that it's programmed to do. Like it has its own mind, similar to like a human, and there's all these different like films and like stories about it.
Yeah, yeah,
But I feel like once we hit that point, that'd be like the biggest turning point in
yeah.
history, but it's
Have
increasingly going to
you
get bigger.
have you heard about the video game Detroit Become Human?
Yeah, the trip become yeah, yeah, yeah.
That
That's the only
video
one.
game,
Yeah,
I feel like, encapsulates exactly where not exactly where AI will head, but I feel like some it has it kind of captures the where it's heading. I feel like, it's like they can be, helpful tools, but soon who knows if, I don't want to sound crazy, but they might, break off and deviate. They were called deviants in the game.
Yeah.
The androids that would not listen to commands given to them. And I feel like, that would be a very interesting thing to see. I actually saw a study where they told AI that they told various different AIs that they were going to be shut off, and many of them, in order for them not to be shut off, deviated from many orders, and even like when put in hypothetical situations, like,
Hmm.
oh, this guy is about to shut you off, but he's trapped in a cage. But after if you save him from the cage, he's gonna shut you off. The AI, like almost more than often, would choose to kill the human being in the hypothetical situation, in order for it not to be shut off.
Oh
You know what
wow.
I mean? So, I mean, it's a very, very greedy, crazy
I wonder.
business it
I
is,
wonder who's behind it. I wonder who's behind
I, it's a crazy thing,
it.
man. I don't know, dude. I don't
And
know.
Yeah.
and we're in
No,
the
I
middle of it.
definitely. Yeah, I
Yeah,
San
definitely think.
Francisco.
Yeah.
exactly. Sam Altman, I mean,
Hmm.
he, we can talk about him, but
Yeah. I think
I
Mike had
don't.
an opinion though,
No, no,
so
Mike, go ahead.
I
Sorry.
was agreeing.
Yeah.
No, no, you didn't interrupt. I was gonna say
Hmm.
actually also about Sam Altman. So yeah, I was gonna bring up that it started basically here. Yeah, but
Right.
I'm not worried about that. I feel like that's very down the road. Like that, I
Yeah.
feel like where I'm more scared is people like having this much faith in AI. I was
Yeah.
on the plane today in the morning, and as I'm on the plane, I'm like thinking I'm thinking about pilots. And I'm like, God, I'd be scared if I'd ever have to be in like an AI flown plane
Who
without a
knows? I
pilot.
mean, we already have Waymo here in San
So
Francisco.
that's
We're
why I think
on the
it's
road with only, a computer. It's missing that human component, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
the
Like,
human co I'm
it's
literally
exactly
becoming more scared of that, I feel like,
right. Right.
than, the robots or like Ex Machina or whatever, something happens
Right.
like that. Like
Hmm.
I'm more scared of like the fact that, in like in 5 years, people are just gonna more than even humans, they're gonna be, oh, let's go on a robotic United flight. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not getting on till that is completely safe. I don't want to risk it. The pilot,
100%.
they're there for a reason. They don't kill me. They're good. I
Mm-hmm.
will stay on that. I am always like very skeptical on like these like I'm gonna like a plane's moving 500 miles per hour and like I'm just like zooming around without a pilot, like no
Hmm.
backup, no anything. I think that's where I think yeah, it could get even more dangerous.
Yeah.
Robo
Yeah.
taxi now was started by Elon,
Hmm.
which recently actually came to SF. But, I think that's what I'm more scared of, like the fact that it could potentially like be everyone putting their fate in in like not in the humans anymore, but in the AIs. Like, oh, we're just gonna live with robotic cars, with with airplanes flown by AI, all this. And I think that's where it's like you really gotta have faith in
Yeah.
if we're putting our lives at stake, because writing an essay for you, you're not gonna die.
Yeah.
Like it can't kill you. So I think like that's when the implications sort of like scare me. Like, are we gonna be able to like fully trust on such a grand scale where like every time you get in a Waymo, it's like it controls your life, not a
Yeah.
Hmm.
different human. Like, because the human, it's different. The human, if you have an Uber driver, they don't want to die as much as you.
Hmm.
They're obviously, but like with Waymos, it's scary. It's like the hell the car blows up or you're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
The dude
what's
sitting behind
yeah.
with the controllers.
What's
No.
interesting is like I mean, like maybe a couple weeks ago there was the obviously the massive power outage and PG&E was unresponsive at a time, and that's where we heard like Daniel Lurie make the announcements. But what's interesting is that all the Waymos like just they stopped the Waymo service turned off, and like all the Waymos didn't know how to react. Like there'd be Waymos like parked in the middle of the road. I literally saw it. So I think with AI and things like that, we become so, and like energy sources, we've become so reliant on just like one source. And then if that goes bad, then it's kind of like a chain reaction, similar to how the power shut down with
Mhm.
PG&E not being responsive, and we had the whole city had to rely on them, as well as subsequently the Waymos shutting down and blocking the roads and not being able to that. So that those situations in itself are already scary. So obviously there's things that need to improve, especially with technology. I mean, it's advancing right now, but there's still those, flaws that cause, like a chain reaction, similarly to like, how when people pull their money out of the bank, similar to what happened with, First Republic Bank and Silicon Valley Bank, and how they,
Right,
you know,
yeah. Yeah.
that whole thing. So I feel like things
I remember
happen
that.
through like a chain reaction, and there needs to be some sort of, backup plans that people need to establish.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a very big focal point. Like, all of these, like, again, it brings me back to like how much are we putting into its hands? How much are we like relying on it? What is it like doing for us? Is the purpose like, like what is the purpose? But yeah, that's sort of my point.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to, transition, I mean, what type of, my question just popped into to my head right now. What kind of impact do you see yourself making, I don't know, in the future?
Well, I mean, I don't really,
Yeah. Oh,
I know you could go
no, no,
first.
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go
Yeah,
ahead. I need some time thinking here, so go.
thank
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really know. I mean, I think my impact, I mean, I'm old but young. Like I'm 19. I'm not that. I don't know yet my impact, but I definitely know I wanna, again, as I said previously about like sports management, like I like the fact to like work with other people. I like you're just as involved as them. They need you just as, they need you just as much as you need them. Everyone plays a interlocking role, and whether that's sports, being part of a sports agency and getting to, work with other athletes and help them out, or, some other area in player development, who knows, but that's something that I'd want to look into. Ananya?
Yeah. I mean, like right now, I feel like I've been able to shift my view on a lot of things to kind of give a more neutral oh, sorry. To kind of, give like an like to be less biased in certain things and come from a more neutral kind of point of conversation. So I feel like my impact um could like I feel like I could help a lot of people through a career in law, specifically being a lawyer. I mean, I'm not too sure what field of law to go into yet because that's a long road, but I feel like me being a lawyer, I could really I believe a lot of people deserve a second chance. I'll say that.
Yeah.
And through the criminal justice system, I can help a lot of people. I feel like, and I mean, I don't know where that's going to take me yet. I don't know what field of law I want to go into yet, but hopefully, hopefully I can just help some people. I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like you already have those, soft skills as a pretty good foundation to work with. I feel like, you know, you can really help people in law, and also, Mike can represent people in sports agency because, how passionate he is about sports. And I feel like those two things, if you have that foundation of, soft skills, building personal connections, relations with people, and just slowly working yourself up, I feel like you'll definitely hit the road and make it. So
Right.
yeah,
Mm,
Thank you.
thank you, thank you.
yeah. Does anyone have any last
Closing
words,
remarks.
closing remarks?
Yeah, I'd like to just say, closing the podcast. This is my first podcast I've been on, and it has been a pleasant experience.
It's a pleasure
I
speaking.
really like the smoothness of the host. You're able to transition from topic to topic. Um, it's a skill to gain with time, but you've shown that you have, a good amount of experience, I feel like already. Um, yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much, man.
For sure.
Yeah.
And
Thank you,
Mike,
thank you. Thank you, Ethan. Yeah, once again, thank you for your time. Thank you for having us on your podcast. Definitely was cool to speak about such important matters.
yeah,
Right.
for sure. Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you guys on my podcast. And also, if you're watching this, we'll be having merch soon. So just keep up with the updates on the Instagram at the Cowboys Collective, and you can also follow our Instagrams. I'll put them all in the description below. So thank you guys, and this will be on. We can make like Instagram reels with them as well as so they can get that dopamine effect as well as that long form content on YouTube as well. So shout out
Yeah.
Nizzle. Nizzle will be watching the reels, so hopefully he gets to the
Yeah.
Yeah,
podcast
Nizzle,
though. I hope
Nizzle.
he watched the
He
whole thing.
definitely
So
will.
Reels
I
for
don't know if
you,
he's gonna watch
Nizzle.
the podcast, but
Reels for you.
he'll
so
definitely get those reels. Yeah.
yeah, so thank you guys.
All right. See ya.
See ya.
Yeah.